CM Punk, that man, I absolutely loved so much for so long. And when he was brought back into the wrestling world in AEW, I was, oh, finally, like we've been waiting so long. And then unfortunately, that media scrum situation happened. And then he was injured that night as well. So there's a lot of like, will he, won't he type of deal. Uh, CM Punk, AEW, is this a situation that you think he will return, or that media scrum, or can we move past this and do business?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't even want to I haven't paid too much attention to it. I know that it happened.
Yeah.
I saw clips of it when it happened. Um, and I guess I don't know enough about the circumstances surrounding it to like even make a informed decision
Yeah.
or, so I just, you know, uh, hopefully everybody can get past it. And, I think he's good for the business. He's
Yeah.
obviously, I think that night, as he alluded to, they did some record numbers at AEW, I believe, right?
Yeah. Every time he was on pay-per-view, they were doing record numbers in the towns they were in as well. So if anyone wants to disparage CM Punk's name for one night of miscommunication versus making money for years upon years upon years, well, that's up to you as a business owner or as a fan. So either way, I think CM Punk returning to AEW is good for wrestling,
Yeah.
and we'll have to see how that goes down.
I
But
remember I've got kind of a funny story. Like I hated CM Punk for a while when I was on Independent. Um,
and why? Why was that?
because there was a wrestling company called IWA Mid South run by Ian Rotten out of it was like the border of Indiana and Kentucky.
Hmm.
And it was kind of a big deal. He did this big show every year called the Ted Petty Invitational Tournament. It was called something before that, but when Ted Petty died, they renamed it to Ted Petty Invitational, and it was like all the up and coming indie stars would compete. So Austin Aries and I got booked on this thing. It's our first like big deal that we're doing. We go all the way down there. We're wrestling each other, and we have a what we thought was a good match. It was actually the first time I ever did the Finley roll off the
Oh,
second rope.
nice.
I He was the first person I ever did it to, and it incidentally, like, I didn't do it until I got to WWE again, which was years later. For some reason, I just didn't keep doing it. But we had what we thought was a solid match, and you can't wait to get the tape, right, so we can watch it. At the time, tape trading was a huge thing,
Oh yeah.
and IWA Mid South tapes were gold. So people, I finally got a copy of this tape. We pop it in, watching it, and it's like CM Punk, Dave Prazak, and Ace Steel on commentary, and they were burying us. It felt like they were burying us like that, and it wasn't like in character. It was like just kind of taking the piss at us.
Wow.
And I remember like I didn't like him. I didn't like him. I was pissed at him about that. And then I bumped into him on a show. We were booked on a show together, and I just pulled him aside. I was like, "Hey man, can I talk to you?" And I said, "This." And I brought it up, and I said, "What? Do we have heat or something like that? What the fuck, man?" And I remember like he gave me the most sincere, heartfelt apology. It wasn't like oh well, I was just in character. He's like, I'm really sorry. It was bullshit. I shouldn't have done that. Like, um, and we were cool. We were cool. And then I remember I still sort of like, but you know, it wasn't like all was forgiven in that instant. So then I had gotten called up on the road for WWE out of OVW. Paul Heyman was writing TV there. And I remember Paul really loved CM Punk.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I was Paul's baby, for that couple months before he got me out the door. He got me on TV. And then, Punk was the next guy that he focused on. And I didn't like it. And I remember one time, God bless you. I remember, and I remember Paul took me and Punk out for sushi one night, and we just sat down and like just talked. And I've loved him ever since. Like, sometimes brothers got to fight. And
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, Paul brought us together, and and we rode together a little bit when we were both at WWE. So and
Outstanding.
then and yeah. So
So sushi brings everyone together, it
it
seems.
does.
Sushi and Paul Heyman, of all
Yep.
people, you would think Paul Heyman, bringing people together, interesting. And
Yeah.
over the years, you hear, I talked to ECW wrestlers from, the ECW '93 to 2001 days, and they'd be like, "I love Paul, but I also wanted to kill him." Like, oh, and then the new generation of wrestlers who work with them in the WWE, they're like, "Man, what a creative genius!" I never hear the second part of, "Oh, I wanted to kill him." I always hear the first part of I loved him so much and he was so great and all that good stuff. Though talk
I
about a
don't have a
story.
negative. I don't have a negative thing to say about Paul Heyman, man.
Good.
He changed my life.